My 30th birthday passed in a blur of forced smiles, cheap wine, and the kind of celebration no one really enjoys. The next morning, while nursing a brutal hangover, I opened my front door and found a package sitting neatly on my porch. It was a heavy, square cardboard box wrapped in plain black butcher paper, tied with a single strand of crimson twine. There was no shipping label there, just my address handwritten on a tag, sealed with thick, dark wax. Inside that box was another one. This one was striking. It was a small, casket-shaped container made of polished mahogany, fitted with a tiny brass lock. It must have weighed 10 pounds, because it is completely solid. Nothing shifted when I shook it. Attached to it was a cream-colored card written in elegant script. To the best of futures, don't open until your funeral. That was the moment the gift stopped feeling like a joke. It felt like a threat, quiet, patient, and personal. I went straight to the police. They laughed it off as some twisted prank and told me to throw it away. But I couldn't. Destroying it felt wrong, like breaking a rule I didn't understand. So I put it on the highest shelf of my closet and tried to forget it. But I couldn't. The box changed everything. My mornings became a ritual of dread. Every small ache felt like the start of something fatal. Every street crossing felt like a test. My life shifted into obsessive fear. I stopped driving, convinced I'd die in a crash. I slept on the floor because I imagined my bed collapsing. I pulled away from friends. Picturing them at my funeral was unbearable. Then the box started moving. First, it shifted from the top left corner of the closet to the center. I blamed gravity. A few weeks later, I found it on the floor, directly beneath the shelf, as if it had been placed there, sitting upright, waiting. I pulled the box out, studying the brass lock I had never touched. That's when I noticed a tiny, freshly carved hash mark scratched into the metal, a tally mark, and then the inscription on the card came back to me. To the best of futures. This wasn't for my funeral. It was for the next person's. The box was never meant to stay with me. It was meant to be passed on, to someone connected to the owner's death, someone who would inherit it. I spent hours searching online. No real clues surfaced until I stumbled onto an old forum about unsolved mysteries. Buried in a thread from 5 years ago, I found a blurry photo of a box just like mine. A woman named Sarah had received it with the same message. She planned to sell it. The thread ended there. 2 weeks later, a news archive revealed she died in a freak hiking accident. At the bottom of that same thread was a single anonymous comment posted a year ago. The gift always returns to the nearest surviving relative on the anniversary of the donor's death. It's never for the recipient. It's for the heir. My stomach dropped. The hash mark on the lock wasn't the first one. It was simply the next in line. Every time the box successfully moved to the next victim's survivor, a new mark was carved. Suddenly the gift became something much worse. A curse that guaranteed the death of whoever currently possessed it and ensured it would always have a new owner to claim next. I held the box, feeling its cold, heavy weight. I understood then. It wasn't waiting for my funeral. It was waiting for me to create a new heir. Someone I knew. Someone I loved. Someone the box would go to next unless I stopped the chain is the only way it ever ended. And by dying is the only way to stop the chain. The contract had already been made, and I had already been chosen. So I wrote this story before anything happened to me. See you all.